Hello everyone and welcome back to the video. So today I want to do a little talk segment slash predictions about King of the Desert 3 group stage and onwards. If you guys don't know, the first two rounds just finished, round of 64 then round of 32, and now we've got the top 16 players. So big spoiler alert, if you haven't caught those first two rounds, click away from this video, come back later after you've viewed them. And if you have viewed them, let's move on. So again, spoilers, click away. Alright, so we're good. So Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D. This is the top 16 players of King of the Desert 3, and let's go through the order of the groups. And if you guys don't know what's happening right now in the group stage, it's basically going to be GCL format for these four groups, and the top two will advance, the bottom two are out, and then it's going to transition into a top 8 playoff single elimination top 8 bracket to decide the winner in the grand final. I'm going to do a little prediction of the top two players in each group and who will advance. So we have Group A, Viper versus Back to be the first game, the Maxton versus Dogao. I do think, honestly, Viper and Max will be the guys to advance. I wouldn't be surprised if Dogao advances over Max. So these are my top three. I don't see Back advancing through this group stage. He could. He's definitely a solid player, but I do think that Dogao and Max tend to be slightly better or more consistent Bacti, and Viper I think is on a different level than the other three players as it stands. So that's my prediction. Viper and Max going through. We'll see what Dogao and Bacti can accomplish though. Dogao is obviously a really good player, so I wouldn't be surprised if he wins over the Max as well. Next up we have Group B. This is the group I'm in. So it's myself, Tato, Valise, and Vivi. I personally think this is one of the hardest groups. I think Group B and Group C are definitely the most close groups. I wouldn't say the hardest, but definitely the group that has the most evenly matched or closely matched players. So this is going to be a tough round for myself. Myself versus Felice is going to be the opening match, then Tato versus Vivi. Honestly, I do see me and Tato winning both first rounds, and then facing off. So I think if I had to say which two will qualify, I'm going to say myself and Tato. At least I hope that's going to be the case. I definitely want to qualify past it. But honestly, I could see Valise upsetting me, and I could see Vivi upsetting Tato, if you can even call these two an upset. At this point, I think we're all very evenly matched. So I think this group is the one that has the most question marks on it. We can see pretty much anyone advancing. If I had to say the top three, it'd probably be myself, then Tato, then Vivi, because I think Vivi could be really dangerous on these closed Arabia. But Tato tends to be really tactically smart, so I do think Tato should be able to take out Vivi. That's my predictions. Me and Tato qualifying. Vivi is the dark horse of the group. But again, even Valise is kind of, could easily make it past. Really tough group here. Next up, we have Group C, another kind of group of death. Very, very tight games here for sure. Leah versus Winchester. I do think Winchester tends to perform pretty well in tournaments these days. The guy has been qualifying and doing pretty well for a few months now, and so it's no big surprise to see him in the group stage of this tournament. However, he's got a pretty hard task ahead of him to play against Leary in this first round of groups. So I think Larry should be the favorite there, and then Nikov and Doubt. I mean, these guys are so neck and neck it seems. I do think slight favorite goes over to Nikov, but it's so small. I think it could really go either way, honestly. And I know Doubt is going to be practicing a lot in the back end of things with Tato. Nikov will also be practicing in the back end of things. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. My predictions for the group are Leary advancing. And then I'm going to say Nikov as my second place. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Doubt as well. So Leary, then Nikov or Doubt should be advancing as well. Winchester, he could pull through. But I would definitely consider that an upset if he does manage to beat Leary or Nikov in Doubt afterwards. So we'll see. We'll keep a close eye on this group. Definitely one of the strongest ones. Which brings us to Group D, which I think is one of the weaker groups, honestly. Props to Chart. Props to Chart for making it 2 here. He beat like ACCM, and then he beat he beat Fire, then ACCM. He took out two guys who were considered top 16 or top 32 players at the very least. And he found his way into the group stage, now the top 16 of this tournament. The thing is, though, I do think MBL and Mr. Yo are both a step above ACCM and Fire. And I do think MBL and Yo are strongly favored in this group. We're seeing Yo take on Chart for the first game, MBL taking on Stray Dog. I don't think we're going to see any upsets in this group, honestly. I would be very surprised if either Chart or Stray Dog can take out Mr. Yo or MBL. I expect MBL to be the winner of the group, and then Mr. Yo to be the second place of the group. So I would say MBL was my first choice here, and Mr. Yo is my second. The reason is MBL has over time done pretty well against Yo in tournaments, and just in like show matches and stuff. MBL seems to play pretty well versus Yo. So even though I think Yo is overall a more consistent player, I do feel like in that matchup, MBL tends to perform really well. So, and this is Arabia's, Arabia MBL's, best map. So, I mean, and Yo's good map. It's a good map for Yo too. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I have a feeling that MBL's gonna end up winning that group. So, I have to wait and see. These are my predictions. This is kind of the update of the tournament. Hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I hope it was easy to watch as well. Just a nice little talk show video, and I'll catch you guys later. Take care and bye for now.